You can go ahead.
Okay. Couple of technical snafus. I think somebody is not muted. Can you mute that? So I think, nope. We're at 7:05.
Go ahead. Say it again.
Yeah, I was saying I call it to order at 7:05 and we'll ask the manager for a roll call.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Brooke Burchett Williams.
Here.
Deb Cassini Klein. Valerie Renthaler.
Here.
Adam McDowell.
Here.
And the mayor, of course,
Here.
and Diane Law.
Here.
And President Jay Dorn.
I am still here.
And Matt Castillo.
Here.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all.
If Jay is speaking, we're not able to hear him. I'm not sure if his microphone's on.
Oh, that's because I don't press buttons. So let me say this again. So now I assume we can hear me with the magic of my one finger pressing one button. It makes it all so much better. Thank you. As I was saying, welcome to the first regular meeting of the new year. And as always, we begin our meetings after the pledge by one of the most important things, which is hearing from our residents. And so we will move into the public comment portion of our meeting. That being the case, if you have a comment, if you'd like to raise your hand, we'd be happy to hear from you today. As always, I give a couple minutes, couple seconds, I should say. Seems a relatively quiet crowd today. Am I missing anyone, Alex? Okay. Being the quiet crowd of the day, we will move past public comment for today and move into the ordinary items, starting with minutes.
President, I move that we accept the meeting from Monday, December 6th.
Ms. Law, I apologize for interrupting, but we cannot hear you.
I
Oh,
did it. I
we
did
see
it
we see
too.
the button pressing. It's a problem. It's a problem.
Sorry, not in gear yet on the first meeting. Mr. President, I move to accept the meeting minutes from the Monday, December 6th, 2021 workshop council meeting, Monday, December 13, 2021 regular council meeting, and the special council meeting of December 21, 2021 to vote on the Churchill Creek conditional use application.
Thank you. Is there a second? Please gotta wait for this. I love it. Thank you very much. You actually don't have to wait. Is there any discussion on minutes? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? And the minutes are accepted without opposition. This will move us to the mayor's report. Mr. Mayor, if you would.
Thank you, Mr. President. As reported to me, I wish to inform council there were no unusual events and no serious crimes during the month of December 2021. Our officers responded to 647 calls for service, resulting in 2 arrests. The total response calls for the year was 9,278. The department's 5 police vehicles logged 4,866 miles in the past month. The year total is 47,959 miles. Chief Ronald Eckerly has reported that the total amount of magisterial fines collected for the month of December, it has not been reported as of this date. The Churchill Police Department was honored once again for their participation in the annual Western Police Athletic League's Holiday Toy Drive giveaway. Excuse me. Thousands of toys were collected throughout the year as a collaborative effort between the many police agencies within Allegheny County who participate in the program, as well as many local businesses. The event culminated on Saturday, December 11th, 2021, when hundreds of officers attended the annual event held at the Monroeville Mall, which included Christmas Carol sing-alongs and a personal visit from Santa Claus himself. At the conclusion of the event, each officer was provided with a carload of wrapped gifts for kids of all ages to distribute throughout their respective communities to those families less fortunate. The event has always been a profound success, and the Churchill Police continue to proudly participate each year. The chief would also like to remind us that now that the winter weather is upon us, it is common for motorists to warm up their vehicles prior to leaving home. As a note of warning, all residents should never leave your vehicle running or unattended for any length of time. Nearly every police agency in the region experiences a significant spike in automobile thefts at this time of the year, and for this very reason. Residents are also advised against using a spare set of keys to start the vehicle and then re-secure the locks. It takes a thief only seconds to force entry through a window and drive away. Restarting is recommended only if your vehicle is equipped with a remote start feature. There is a fail-safe feature that requires a key to drive. It is never safe to leave any vehicle running and unattended. The officers and the chief would like to extend their wishes for a safe, happy, and healthy new year. Details and other related statistics concerning the police department during the month of December 2021 are reported on the attached police department reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This time I entertain a motion to accept the mayor's report.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the mayor's report?
Certainly a lot of miles.
Yes. Although, I mean, it is what we are accustomed to and why we have to plan in terms of to make sure things work. So I don't have my old school guy to complain about the cars. All right, hearing no other discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And the mayor's report is accepted without opposition. This moves us on to the treasurer's report.
Mr. President, I move to accept the treasurer's report for the month ending December 31st, 2021, and also move directing the finance officer to pay the bills for the borough of Churchill accrued since December 13th, 2021.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. Any discussion? As a matter of discussion, we will always list out and read separately, even though it's there for you. Thank you to our borough manager. Any bill over the amount of $15,000. This month we have 4. The first being Petracus Contracting in the amount of $38,609.71. This is for the Collins Road Pump Station project. We have Professional Governmental Underwriters, the amount of $25,277, and that is the Police Professional Liability Premiums. MRM, Property and Liability Trust, the amount of $18,423, and that's our annual liability and property and auto insurance premiums. And then we have Vigliotti Landscape and Construction in the amount of $17,570.12, which is our December Public Works bills. Is there any other discussion on the bills or on the Finance Committee or on the Finance Report, Treasurer's Report? Eventually I'll get there, right?
Mr. President, I just wanted to make one note for the public, and that especially with the numbers that you see on the treasurer's report that is posted on the agenda, you'll notice in the restricted and committed use accounts that there is a significant decrease over prior month and prior year. And that's attributed to the large payment for the first pay application that was approved last month for the Collins Road Pump Station that totaled slightly over $250,000. that is reimbursable through the GROW grant that we've received, and those funds will be replenished. So no need to worry when it comes to those accounts.
Thank you for the point. I personally was not worried, but the point for the public makes very good sense. So thank you for pointing it out, or I would have probably let it slip past me. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries without opposition. The bills will be paid. This moves us on to action item number 7.
Mr. President, I'm very sad to make the motion to accept the resignation of Krista Watt as Borough Finance Officer and Treasurer, with the last day in the office being February 18, 2022.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I will sadly second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I think there's been a lot of discussion ongoing on our sadness to this decision, but we understand it. You have been just absolutely priceless to us. We know it. It is a loss for us, without any doubt. But we also understand, the opportunity and what it presents to you. So we appreciate you, and we'll figure out a way to make sure you know that. But we are sad to see you go, Tristan. Any other comment before I move forward?
I just want to say that, I absolutely wish you the very best, Krista, in your career. You've demonstrated here the incredible ability and skill and talent and commitment that you have, and your next employer is getting a gem. So thank you.
Steal. We're being robbed for good reason. Good reason. Yeah, see these right here? Baby hearts, right there. These are baby hearts. If you don't know those, little baby hearts, love them. So send them out. Send them out. Okay. That being the case, if there's no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's the slowest. Any opposition? We can't, it wouldn't make a difference, but we could, if it would make a difference, we actually would, I would say that. All right, that being said, motion carries. This moves us on to the infrastructure party.
The infrastructure party. So as a special note, the following 3 action items or items 8, 9, and 10 deal with our sanitary sewer operation and maintenance regulations that are mandated by our consent decree. So I will make a motion to accept year 2 of 3 agreement for video inspection of sanitary storm sewer pipe segments. This is CCTV video for pipe cleaning for 2022, and that is with State Pipe Contracting in the contract amount of $83,679.00.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I think outside of we kind of discussed this at the workshop, but for the public, this is the camera work. This is basically kind of the 3 steps of finding out what the problems are, then working on the problems, lining the problems. So we'll go through each one of these, but this is define the problem space of the camera work. If there's anything that I'm missing there, please feel free to fill it in.
No, that's a great summary. I will add though that for each of these contracts, when we bid the base contract, we do it with in a 3-year increment typically. So this is the first renewal. It allows us to secure better pricing over the long term. And always gives us the option, if for some reason we thought prices were better, to rebid it based on the analysis from Gateway Engineers and what we looked at. It makes sense to accept their renewal.
Excellent. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it is accepted without opposition. Moving us on to number 9.
Mr. President, I would make a motion to accept the year 3 of 3 agreement for the 2022 excavation. This is the pipe/point repair of sanitary sewer and storm sewer lines by Soli Construction. This is their last renewal and the contract amount is $163,427.36.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Thank you. Any discussion? Again, it's going through the process of once it's identified, the repair process. I don't know if there's anything you want to add. I think it's pretty basic at this point. All right. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the contract or the motion carries without opposition. Moving us on to number 10.
Mr. President, I would make a motion to award year 3 of 3 for the agreement for 2022 manhole to manhole lining to Jet Jack Incorporated. This is the second and final renewal of this contract, and the contract price for that is $83,580.00.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
I'll just add, Jay, so this is also part of our repair. Manhole to manhole lining is actually where we're able to reconstruct the pipe from the inside. So it saves, a lot of time and energy and money, obviously destruction to roadways, people yards. So they can actually line the pipes, down underneath the streets and yards. It's actually a pretty innovative process, and it does help us secure long-term infrastructure benefits at a great price.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And number 10 is accepted without opposition. This moves us on to number 11.
Mr. President, I move that we make a motion to reappoint Jordan Tax Service of McMurray, PA as a delinquent real estate tax collector.
Thank you. Is there-
Second,
Thank you, Mr. Seconds. Any discussion? This is a matter of course, when we start the year, we reappoint a delinquent tax collector to take care of delinquent taxes versus our regular tax collector. And so we are reappointing Jordan, who has been a previous delinquent tax collector. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And number 11 passes without opposition. This moves us on to number 12, which has a lot of spaces in it. Mr. Manager, I did want to ask a couple things before I move that one forward. Primarily being, have the members that were listed in the memo that you sent, has everyone been contacted?
Correct. They've been contacted and they have expressed in writing their willingness to be reappointed. The
Excellent.
only additional one was the one that the tree committee was wanting to add a new member to their group.
Right, and you, right, so, but that still we know is someone that wants to take the position.
Oh, certainly.
And for clarity, because I think what the public sees right now is not the names of the individuals or the information. Is that something we need to go through, or can we just do this as a bulk motion?
I recommend that you go through each one. In the memo, for example, like with the zoning hearing board, we have one person be reappointed. So it's going to be a little bit time consuming, but we're not doing a roll call vote with each one of these.
Right. So Valerie, do you have the memo that you're speaking of? Okay,
So Valerie, if you can go back to the
What?
group Teams message, I included it and I apologize, I didn't get a chance to email you. So if you go to the group council Teams, it was an attachment that was sent about 2 o'clock this afternoon. And you might want to click on that.
So it's a lot. So I think rather than have you kind of search for it right now, I think Diane can
And I'll
pick up
forward it
the
to you while we're
motion
talking.
for us. It's fine. Just so we can move this, because otherwise it's a lot to kind of go through on the fly.
Mr. President, I move to reappoint Timothy Finnerty to the Borough Zoning Hearing Board to serve another 3-year term.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. Any discussion? As always, as I will do with each one of these, I thank every resident who's willing to serve the borough. We know what it means to make that commitment. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it passes without opposition. Moving to the next.
Okay. Mr. President, I move to appoint Megan Harmon to serve for an additional 4-year term on the Borough Planning Commission.
Second,
You, any discussion? I would just point out that she has been chairing the commission and has really,
Right.
done a wonderful job through extremely difficult circumstances. So I'm very happy that she has decided to return.
Me too.
I think quite frankly, I wouldn't have blamed her if she said that.
Well, experience is an important thing in this commission, and I'm really gratified that the other people are continuing
Yes,
as well.
thank you. Any other discussion?
I would just add that through some of these roles in general, it's good to see. I know there's been some interest from other folks. So certainly, we're always looking for additional, and we have other openings if, we're not able to fill all the open seats with the amount of people that want to volunteer.
Absolutely. Point well made.
Mhm.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And congratulations to Megan again. As I say, we can only comment so many times on how important it is to have our community members willing to participate.
Okay.
Moving on.
Mr. President, I move to appoint Jamie Marshall and also Joyce Welsh to serve. I'm sorry, I should have done that separately because they're different terms. I'll rescind that. I move to appoint 2 members seated with expired terms. Jamie Marshall is currently serving and is willing to be appointed and serve an additional 6-year term. Joyce Welsh is currently serving and is willing to be reappointed to serve a 3-year term to the Borough Civil Service Commission.
Thank you. Is there a
Second.
second? Thank you. Any discussion? I would just make a point of clarity for council that this does actually fully seat the Civil Service Commission, that we do have 3 on the commission. So we have a fully seated civil service with these 2 appointments.
Right.
And again, thank them for their willingness. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And congratulations to them and their willingness to serve again. This moves us on to tree committee.
Mr. President, I move to appoint Ken Bulkey to a 2-year term on the Churchill Tree Committee. And I'm also asking to appoint Natalie Boydston to serve a 3-year term. Up to this time, we've had 3 members of the Tree Committee. The committee is permitted under our ordinance to have 5 people. So Ms. Boydston would be a 4th.
So I think we have a mix up on some numbers.
Yeah,
there.
I think we're.
Yeah,
don't think
Ken
we're
would be
quite
for
close.
3,
Hmm?
Judy would be for 2,
Oh,
and then Natalie would be for,
I'm sorry,
That's okay.
that was
If you want to,
really,
it's
okay.
a lot in here, so if we want
let me try it again.
to
Okay.
restate the motion, that would be great.
Mr. President, I move the following appointments to the Churchill Tree Committee. Let's see.
Ken Melky is a 3-year.
Ken's 3, Judy's 2, and then Natalie 3.
Get a footnote.
Ken 3 and Natalie 2.
And then Judy 2.
Okay. Oh, Judy too. I missed Judy.
That's
Okay. So Judy Aderio to a 2-year term, Ken Bulkey to a 2-year term,
3-year term.
3-year term rather, I'm sorry, and
Okay.
Natalie Boydston to a 3-year term.
Yeah, we got it.
Second,
Ta-da.
Steal this thing. Any other discussion other than making sure we got the terms?
Mhm.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
So on the rec board, we're going to table that to February because we got to circle back
Hold on, we're
around.
still in the middle of the motion.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
just finished.
I thought we were-
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Now,
Yeah.
we're going to table the rec board.
Yeah, the rec board, we're looking at, Debbie, you want to give an update on that? We're just going to circle back around with each member, make sure we got the right terms and the right interest.
Yeah, for clarity for the public, the rec board, we want to make sure that all of the people we're appointing, what the terms are going to be, because they're all kind of coming on, making sure we have everyone's acknowledgement to this so that we're able to move forward. So we're going to table the rec board appointments at this time. And
Do
then
we,
we'll circle back once we know what terms, who's going to serve at which terms, and who's going to actually be on. So
do we need a motion to table that?
you don't. There's not a motion on the floor, so you don't have to table.
Perfect.
It's just an agenda item that we can say we're going to table it.
Fantastic.
So that moves us to the vacancy board.
Mr. President, I move that we appoint Kevin Collins to serve in case of a need on the Borough Vacancy Board.
Second,
Is there any discussion? We warned him, and this is the lightest of what we'll be asking before this is all said and done. We appreciate Kevin's willingness to still continue to serve with us.
Right.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it is accepted then without opposition. Moving on to the pension. What do we have?
Yeah,
Nope, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. A couple
things.
things I do want to point out though, as a matter. One is that we will be, as many of the public may recall, we had passed the ordinance for the Human Relations Commission, and then all of council's time got sucked up by some other development issue. And so now we really are interested in making sure that stands up. So we will be making sure that we get that as a priority to get people appointed, to get it moving over the next month or two. So that is something that is high on, at least on my priority list, something I know that other council members want to see happen. So that is definitely something. And then we will, as already said, come back and revisit the space of the rec board, because again, another kind of very important committee that has the opportunity to do a lot of great things, and they always have. We want to make sure that we have them fully staffed with the community members that have worked so hard. That takes us through those items. It does bring us into discussion items and any reports that need to be provided or questions on any reports or provided. I don't think there's much here because the one thing that we will is going into executive session. So, okay. I will offer the opportunity, as we have in the past, to go kind of around the table. I think it's always a good space. Just for those who are not familiar, and today obviously we didn't really have public comment, but we generally at the end of the meetings, before kind of the magical COVID space, would allow every committee member or every council member along with staff go around the table and make any comments that they wanted to make, whether pertaining to comments from the public or other comments or announcements or things they know are going on in the community, so that we can put it out there. It is not mandatory that any council member speak. You don't have to, but if you've got something you want to talk about or whatnot, I want to make sure that the time is afforded to every council person and staff person. So that being the case, I generally just go kind of quickly through each member. I'll call you if you've got something to say. Great. If you don't, you can say that no new comments, and we can move through everybody and see where we are today. But today I will start with our mayor. I normally kind of end with him, but I think I'll start with him. So I know you've got comments that you'll make.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll be very short tonight. I don't have a lot of comments. It was kind of a lot of items that we went through tonight in this agenda and got to a lot of paperwork and appointees. And I'm glad to see people are stepping up and, volunteering their time. And I would like to see, I know everyone worked hard for that Human Relations Committee, that we can get some people on there seated, like you said, by February. So if anyone's out there listening and someone's interested in those positions, and, get that filled. And just, the starting of the new term for myself and the new council members, for me, it's a pleasure and honor to serve in this position and get to see everything that I do. Other than that, just my heartfelt sincerity to Krista, because every time I have a question, she's a phone call away.
Got to press that button, sir. Got to press that button.
Let me start over. Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say,
You're good. Just like that.
okay, I got this time. Get the thumbs up. Yeah, just saying that a lot of work was done here tonight at council meeting. I know a lot of items were discussed. The thing about the Human Relations Commission, I'd like to see some people step up to fill that position, like you said, by somewhere in February, or March of 22, and get that up and going with some people in there. My other comment was about, starting a new term with new council members, and myself as a new term, is just, a pleasure for me to work with all council members and everyone on staff here. And especially, I'm going to miss Krista a lot. Every time I have a question, I just give her a little phone call and she kind of walks me through the whole thing. So I'm going to miss Krista a lot, and I wish her well in her new job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would just like to say I look forward to the upcoming year with all of the fellow council members, our staff. I'd like to thank our volunteer firemen. I know I keep hearing the fire whistle go off a lot, so I know they've been busy. We certainly appreciate their dedication to the borough, our police as well. Finally, I would just, remind all of our residents that, it's winter, so keep an eye on your neighbors. If, notice anyone that hasn't had a walk shoveled in a while or driveway or, needs some help. Being young and able-bodied that I am, I like to walk up and down our street and help out when folks need it. So I encourage everyone else to keep that community mindset, in their hearts this winter.
Thank you. Appreciate your comments. We move to Deb.
Just want to say, as a new council person, how grateful and honored I am to have this position, and I'm excited to do whatever I can to help our Churchill community. Very excited. Thank you.
Move to Adam.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll just reiterate what the mayor said, what Matt said, just thanking everyone who volunteers, everyone from all the appointees that we went through tonight, as well as the other members of council, the mayor himself, and, our volunteers for the fire department. Just, thanks to everyone who wants to be involved in this community and does so much to help out this community. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you. We move to Valerie.
I'm going to echo everybody said, ditto. But I also want to say thank you to Krista. It has been an absolute pleasure working with you, and Finance Committee is definitely going to miss you a ton. I also want to tell the residents, please stay safe. Their COVID cases keep rising. So please mask up, get boosted, and stay safe. Thank you.
You and Brooke.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank the Churchill community for your vote of support and electing me as a new council member. It is my will that I will come to the table and do what I can to move the Churchill community forward. I would like to thank those who have volunteered to serve on the various boards and commissions. Being a part actively of your community is very important. So I thank you for that. And I thank you for all residents who have tuned in tonight to attend this meeting. And those who are interested in volunteering, please reach out to the borough manager and we will do our best to bring you on board. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Going to move through Ralph, anything on either fire or public works?
Yeah, a couple of things, Jay. Fire department had a record year. We ended up with 413 calls for the year. We're already at 11 calls for this year. We're only on the 10th day. Exciting thing, the pump station has been demoed. There's no longer a pump station, which is hooray. And I want to remind our residents, to do not park on the street during snow events. It makes it difficult for the guys to get around and plow with the snow plow. We've had some residents who've been parking on the street, and it makes it a little difficult for my guys to get around the streets and do what they need to do. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. I would just make one quick comment before I move forward that, I woke up on the morning of the snowfall. I had to take my daughter to school. and she goes over in Squirrel Hill to CDS, and they had put out a delay, for CDS, and my wife looked at me because she's both working from home, and her office faces the window to the street, and she looked outside and she said, "Why is there a delay?" Right? Because our streets, and I'll send a picture out to council. Our streets were crystal clear, and then as soon as I got in the car and drove her, out of Churchill, I'm like, that's why it's a delay, because they don't have what we have here, and that is something that we have prided ourselves on, how well you and the guys do the job. So please pass on from council to them as well that we cannot say how much we appreciate the work that you all are doing. Thank you, Ralph, very much, and I appreciate your report. Moving on, Dennis, anything coming from the engineering world?
As Ralph mentioned, the pump station has been demoed, and just one item on that, once we have that closed out, we'll be assisting borough staff, and we have a number of grants for that and getting the reimbursements for the grants for all of that work that was completed. Other than that, again, we talked about the O&M projects, so those will be getting kicked off here shortly.
I am appreciative of grants. Let me just say that now. Let it be the state's money and not our money. It makes the world a better place. Mr. Solicitor.
Nothing to report at this time, Mr. President.
Thank you. Our finance officer extraordinaire.
Jay, I don't think I could ever thank all of you enough. I really appreciate all of the kind words. It's been a pleasure working here in Churchill, and just for the public's knowledge, this was a choice for my professional and personal growth. And I am still staying in local government. And my big belief is that we all move forward together, not separately. So I'll always be a phone call away to ensure continuity of service to the community, because this community has given back so much to me. I've learned so much from not only the amazing council members that sit in front of you, those that also just recently stepped down this past term, and also all of the amazing residents that I've had the opportunity to learn from and have challenged us to do more and do better. It's been a great opportunity. And Mr. Mayor, I will always be a phone call away to help with all of your Microsoft Word Adobe needs. No worries.
Thank you. Mr. Manager.
Number of things. Thank you. We have 13 attendees or 14 attendees, one dropped off, and with 13 panelists, there's about 27 people participating in tonight's meeting. Two, the new council members have hit the ground running. They're doing a lot of training along with Valerie and Matt. And I think even the mayor has signed up for an additional amount of training. Can't say enough. A lot of people don't get to see what I see, which is behind the scenes, the number of hours council members put in. What you see is a tiny fraction, even with all the meetings we had last year. Three, we sold a vehicle for the police via municipal bid and doubled what we had as reserve price. And a lot of that is to do with Chief Ackerley. Many of you know the chief is, on injured reserve, if you will, but he stays very engaged, and he was very active in making sure that vehicle was top notch and an outstanding looking vehicle. It's a lot of the detail that he puts into his job that made that sale go well. And then lastly, two things, Krista has been amazing. We have advertised for her position. Great people, beget great people. So we're hoping that she helps with the onboarding of a new person, but also for all of you who are participating in this call and the council members, referrals are really the key to great hires. And we're looking forward to, over the next few weeks, getting some names before us that we can choose among and begin the really impossible task of replacing Krista, but moving forward as best we can. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm going to move to.
It appears, can you hear me? It appears that I've lost my Zoom connection, so I am here, but you can't see me. So I just want to say that I'm looking forward to, a very productive and exciting year. Our council president has reorganized the committees, and the appointees to the committees are really great. And we have a lot of work to do. But I think that in the structure that we have, we'll get a lot done for the people in our community. So I'm grateful for that. And, need I say more about Krista? We won't lose touch with you, Krista. Don't worry about that. Also, our staff has just been, the rest of our staff has just been working, 250%. And I thank you all. And that's about it.
Thank you. I believe that leaves me to the table. So a few things very quickly. First of all, as we complete the first kind of month of council with kind of the new council, I just want to thank everyone. Each time that council kind of resets and resettles in, there are new challenges for everyone, adjustments. And as always, this council continues to work at the most professional level. And if you look around at some of our neighbors, you really get an understanding of how proud I am of how this council operates. Secondly, I just want to say again, as we look at the number of committees and other opportunities that we always want to reach out and hope that our community will continue to work for the benefit of Churchill as a whole. The Human Relations Commission, just as a matter of clarification, the Human Relations Ordinance that went into place really to ensure that our citizens are protected from acts of discrimination and provided equal treatment here within our community. And during the time, we did so to make sure that all protected classes that were covered under the federal government were included, so that under employment or housing, that issues of race, religion, national origin, disability status, familial status, and color were covered, but also to expand our protections to ensure that members of the GLBTQI+ are also protected here in Churchill. And so the ordinance then provides for a Human Relations Commission who, when somebody feels that a complaint has, or that the discriminatory act has taken place, can bring that to the commission for review. And so we are, excited to get that stood up. It's something that I personally had been on a soapbox for a long time. And so finally able to move it, and now to move it to stand up and into action is something that's important to me. And I think to many on the council. One last thing I will just say, and then I'll let you know that we're going to move into an executive session for personnel matter. But I also just want to point out that in the space that we are in with the kind of continued world of COVID, that I hope everyone stays safe, masks up. You'll see that I am now moving on the color coordinated mask game, trying to find ways to make masking a little better in my day. But I hope everyone stays safe. At this time, we're going to head into an executive session and then adjourn. So I guess I would entertain a motion to adjourn at this time before we head to executive session.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Game, set, match. Thank you all very much. Thank you for listening in and for your participation. And we're going to head to executive session at this time.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.